Another episode of the Kickback. Where's my camera at? Right there. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Chris, aka SSJ Blackrod, aka the Great One, aka Mr. Muckluck, back in the building after a week hiatus of not doing the show. We had a show, had to cancel it, but you know that's how things are. But I got two special guests at the Kickback. I got Seth the Second. What's good, my man?
What's up,
Yo.
my boy? What's up, my boy? Hey, man, how you living?
Can't call it, man. Can't call it. I feel like you're a regular guest at the Kickback. So at any time, if you ever want to hop on, listen, just like, hey, yo, I got shit to say. I got shit to talk about. I want to be on the Kickback. I want to let the people know what's going on. And what's been going on? What's been going on?
I mean, trying to get our stuff situated, you know what I'm saying? Living life other than that, just trying to make it, a day at a time. But other than that, I'm here.
All right. And I'll let you introduce our second special guest, yo, for a kickback
Yeah.
first.
So first time guest, we got a great man. You know what I'm saying? Man taught me a lot. You know, Mr. Isidore is one of the special people. You know, he's intellectual, he's bilingual, he's also known as him. Mr. Jawan. Mr.
Yo,
Jawan.
yo, what's good?
Yes,
What's going
sir.
on? What's going on,
Yes,
bro?
sir.
I've never gotten no introduction like that before. Wow,
Hey,
I don't
you
even
know.
know what to.
Hey, welcome to the kickback, everybody.
I'm happy to be here, man. I'm happy to be here.
Yo, listen, it's one of those things where like we've met before, but we haven't like formally met until this past weekend. And can I say just straight vibes the whole time? Cool people.
Yeah, yeah.
Glad to have you on, and let the people know. Let the people know who you are. Like, what you got going on in your life?
Uh, um, well, I actually just got back to Georgia from New York, originally from New York City. Well, originally from the islands. I was born in St. Lucia, so been around the world, been around different countries. Yeah, man, I'm just happy to be back. Happy to be surrounded by great people, great vibes. Like you mentioned, man, just meeting you, chilling with everybody. That's really why I came back to be around good energy, good vibes, a great environment, and yeah.
And listen, that's what the kickback is all about. Is having good vibes, good conversation, and when I say having great conversations with you, we had a movie night this past
Yeah.
week, and that movie night turned into a discussion night, and it was a good time. So let's take some of that conversation. Let's put it on stream. And of course, guys, if you're watching live, shout out to everybody that's watching live on Facebook, everyone that's watching live on YouTube. Do you guys want to see me on Twitch? Hmm? Just let me
Might
know.
as well.
Let's go ahead and create the account. Let's go ahead and we'll be on Twitch too. Shit, why not? Why not? But let's jump into our first. I might even say conversation. It's more or less like I like starting these shows off with just some fun, something different. And where's my screen at? We're gonna jump back on Reddit. There is a Reddit called "Am I the Asshole?" Am I the asshole? And I instead of like picking and choosing, I'm just gonna read a couple titles and let me know if this sounds good, and we'll jump into it and we'll figure out is this person the asshole. Uh,
Okay.
refresh this. Um, okay, here's one. Am I the asshole for responding okay to a friend coming out? That's one
Mm.
potential one. Am I the asshole for not inviting my mother's boyfriend to my wedding? Mm, I don't know if
It
you're an
depends.
asshole.
It depends.
Depends.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I the asshole for leaving a friend group at the lake? That one. Mm.
Wait, what?
All right. I think that's the reaction. Let's go for it. All right. Am I the asshole for leaving a friend group at the lake? I, 24 male, just broken up with about 2 weeks ago. My friend, 23 male, invited me out for a day at the lake as a way to cheer me up. Pause. First and foremost, that's a good friend.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
breakups are tough. You know, it's
Yeah.
to have that friend to sort of be like, hey, yo, let's go have some fun, let's go do something. So shout out to that friend. All right, so he was skeptical but agreed. He asked me if I could pick him up from his house because his car was in the shop. I agreed. So that's already the setup. He's the ride.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead,
All right. When I got to his house, I noticed an additional three people waiting with him. Before anyone got in, I questioned him who these people were. He said they're just a couple of friends coming and nothing to worry about. That's already.
That's a red flag, though. That's already a red flag. You don't tell me once I get there that people are going that I didn't know was going off up front. So that's a red flag.
Especially in my car.
Yeah, you wild.
So I drive 2.5 hours to where this lake is, unload, we get a place in the sand, and I immediately noticed that my friend was not paying me any mind and was just talking to his other friends. I tried interacting with them, but they all just ignored me.
Mm.
Hmm.
So that's another red flag. If you invite somebody to cheer them up, how you gonna ignore them?
Yeah, low key. My thought where where I first stood at the beginning of this, it's kind of shifting,
Right.
just a little.
All right, so after realizing that they wanted nothing to do with me, and I was just oh shoot so at this point he realizes he's just a ride. I decided to make most of the day and enjoy myself. I went for a long, nice walk and did some soul searching to come back and find two of the people in the group missing. I asked where were they, and the remaining people just laughed. I looked at my car to see them in there doing the deed.
Nah, you're wilding. I'm out. I'm
No
out. Come on, bro.
way.
Nope. We ain't even gotta finish this. Come on, bro.
I got furious and I grabbed all of my stuff. I stormed to my car, forced the door open, and demanded that they got out. As they shuffled out of my car with clothes barely on, damn, they were right in it. I got in my car and proceeded to drive off. The entire ride home, I ignored all calls from my friend. When I finally answered, he was screaming at me that they had no way home. I told them off for inviting me only just to bring people that I didn't know and to ignore me the whole day and to let his friends disrespect my belongings. He called me an asshole and has not spoken to me since. His mom ended up giving his mom ended up having to go get them, and she ended up calling my parents, who also I think that I'm the asshole for leaving the friend stranded with no way home. I probably could have handled it better, but I think I am justified for my actions. Am I the asshole?
So you want me to keep it a buck with you?
100%.
He did nothing wrong. If all the other stuff was all right, I ain't leaving nobody. But if you disrespect my car, like I walk off and you disrespect my car, that you gonna slide in the back seat or front seat, whatever, and you clothes barely on, mean they was off. You feel you disrespectful, so I'm gonna disrespect you. See how far you can walk.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. Hey, there's just a certain level of respect that I think you should have for me as a friend. And I can get over I'm just a ride to you. That hurts a lot. Just you knowing what I'm going through, that really hurts. But you allowing two people I don't even know to enter my property and violate it like that, and to laugh about it like it's jokes, knowing what I'm going through, knowing what you put me through, knowing that you probably only brought me here so that you can hang out with these people. Come on, man. That's not even a friend. So yeah, you gotta walk.
Dang, I think that's unanimous. You know what? You did nothing. You are not the asshole. I hope you get some healing done. Breakups aren't easy. I feel like this may have potentially made it worse. Uh, yeah, you are not the asshole for this. This is. I think your friends are the assholes.
Facts.
That's the.
Surrender.
Um. Hmm. All right, let's jump into another story. Am I the asshole for being upset that my fiance got me the ring I wanted? Wait, what?
No, read though.
Please.
'Cause what?
Okay. Um. Oh, and then wait, just shout out, quick shout out to everyone that's actually watching live. We have Amira said that he wasn't wrong. Elbow cough. Um, Loretta doesn't get it, so I don't know what's not to get. Those people are in the wrong. And then shout out to Ashley. Ashley's in the stream checking us out. Appreciate you. Appreciate you tuning in. And once again, I think it's unanimous with that last story. So let's jump into this new story. Am I the asshole for being upset that my fiance got me the ring I wanted? Not sure how to start this, so I'll just jump straight into it. My fiance has been asking me what I want for my engagement ring for close to a year. I sent him reference photos at his request. He asked me explicitly what carrot I want and what carrot my family would find acceptable. Don't ask. They're a bit materialistic and overbearing. One of the reasons I moved away from them. Okay. I told him repeatedly what my ideal would be, but emphasized that I would be happy with anything from him because it would be a symbol of his love and commitment. Oh, you're making a face. You're making
You know that's but wait, Chris. When people, first of all, if your family is materialistic, that's what she said, right?
a.
So you come from materialistic, and you telling me it don't matter. Because if it didn't matter, that young man would not be asking you in depth which one you specifically want, down to the carrot. That means you care. So don't try to give us this, I don't really care in the comments so you don't be the asshole, but I'm gonna let you continue.
Okay. So I always knew that he makes enough money to buy a quote unquote impressive ring, but I didn't think it was right to put that pressure on him. Fast forward 2 weeks ago, he ended up proposing with a ring that was completely different from what we discussed. The metal was different, the cut, design, all of that. He told me it was a family heirloom. I was thrown off because he never mentioned it before.
Hmm.
Hmm. Regardless, I was over the moon not only at the thought of marrying him, but also flattered that his family wanted to give me something so sentimental. Obviously, I said yes, but I could only imagine I appeared as ecstatic as I felt. I took the ring and was overjoyed. He paused for a moment and was confused, but kind of recovers and went about our normal lives. So, first and foremost, a family heirloom is wild.
Crazy. Crazy, actually. Like, nah, I'm not giving my family. Nah, I'm just be honest with you. But was she mad? She said she was happy about it.
That's what she says. So let's jump back to the story. I've been talking about how happy I was to have something so meaningful from his family for the past 2 weeks. Well, yesterday he sheepishly came to me and gave me exactly the ring that he talked about. At first, I was gutted. I thought his family no longer wanted me to have part of their history, so he clarified that the first ring wasn't an heirloom. It was something that he brought as a joke and was expecting a reaction out of me. Oh, okay. I see where the story's going. And he was shocked that he didn't get the one and didn't know what to do when she was so happy about the first ring. So it turns out
Mm, okay. 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 So she thought it was a special ring. He was joking, and he got her the one she actually wanted, but she was upset. Okay. Okay.
so I was floored in that moment. I was so confused and had so many conflicting feelings I couldn't process in real time that I didn't know what to say. I just walked out the room. Now he is saying that I ruined our proposal slash wedding story by walking away and shutting him out when he gave me an expensive ring. He was genuinely upset at me for not being stoked that he pranked me initially. Am I the asshole for being disappointed and confused?
No, not at all. Reason being is if she knows which ring she wants, down to the carat, probably down to the shape of the stone she wants, how many stones she wants on it, the color of the ring that she wants. She has thought about this forever. A dream proposal, a dream wedding is something that girls think about ever since they're little. So for you, the first time that you go to propose, one, it's not the ring that she wants. Two, you then admit that, oh no, it was a joke. Then is it serious to you? Like this is supposed to be the start of our lives, and you're starting it off as a joke. That's how we're starting off. So she's absolutely right to be upset. And then you pile that on with you lying about a family heirloom, and you know, even that is a heavy thing for a family member to say, "I'm going to give you my wedding ring for you to pass on." So I think there's just a lot that he did that was unnecessary. Also, it's all about timing. You got to know when to pull a prank if that is something that you guys do. I'm not one for pranks in a relationship. I think it could get very blurry very quickly, and I think this is one situation. It's not the time.
I all right, so I agree with you. I feel like it sounds like he probably doesn't pull too many pranks. And I feel like this was the worst time to actually like start a prank. And if he was gonna actually do the prank, I think he should have had both rings. He should have had the one that she wanted, and
Right.
if you wanted to do the family heirloom joke, sure, prank, go for it, do it. But like afterwards, actually have like the actual ring. Be like, all right, it's like here's a real
It sounds like he did though. It sounds like he gave her that one, expecting her to be like, "What is this?" And then he was gonna give her the other one. But since she liked it and was okay with it, and actually took, heartfelt, like, "This is sweet," he couldn't take it from her. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I think in those 2 weeks he had to like gather his thoughts. Like, how am I gonna tell her that? I think it was like a small joke. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh,
one. Don't
here you go. No, it's not small in the sense of things, but it's a small joke to him because he's thinking, I'm gonna come in, boom. She was gonna be kind of like, what is this? And then he was gonna hit her with the switcheroo, and she was gonna be more ecstatic about it, as opposed to, it's kind of like if you tell somebody, oh, I got 6 kids, and they be like, really? And you be like, nah, I only got one. That one don't sound that bad because you hit them with that information first. So it's kind of like he would have showed her that and then showed her the ring that he got. She would have been more ecstatic about it instead of like her judging it to a higher standard. So I think the joke just got took too far because she actually liked the ring. But I don't think she should have got mad because she still got what she wanted in the end. It's like you can be disappointed at the joke, but I see both sides because I don't think you would should have got mad. I got you exactly what you wanted. Yeah, you can talk to me about the joke or whatever, but I don't think it was to the point where she should have stormed out. But I can't tell people how to feel.
yeah. Yeah, I think I think we just chalk that up for like a prank gone wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right,
yeah, yeah.
I found a juicy one.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for calling CPS on my best friend?
What she do?
My best
That's
friend,
Wild.
pretty female, has 3 children and a husband. I know that she tries her hardest, but she's so oblivious to everything that I feel like she's putting her kids at risk. Her husband does not help at all. Her kids are admittedly not well behaved and incredibly destructive. I offered multiple times to help clean her house, but I think her pride gets in the way and she never lets me. Mm. Quick side note. Dang, I sort of wish I could confirm like what race these people are.
what's your guess?
Ooh.
You don't want to guess, bro. It's your show. I'll just ask. I'll just ask.
So hot take. That's not even a hot take. Um. So I feel like Caucasian people tend to put themselves
Yeah,
in situations that they don't need to put themselves into.
knows.
What about you?
I agree. I was gonna say the same, you know what I'm saying? The lighter skin tone, just because CPS usually don't be called unless they doing some crazy. So I'm gonna listen to the rest of the story because if they did something crazy, then maybe they not. But CPS is the crazy thing to call if it ain't crazy.
Joanne, what about you? Same thing?
Yeah, I heard friend and calling CPS, and you calling CPS on your friend. Hey, I'm expecting that you witness them do some brutal things in that home, but how she's starting off this story, it just sound like you should be minding your business.
Yeah.
First thing, Karen.
Hey,
All right, so things have gotten so out of hand that her 2 year old recently climbed out of a tall window and laid on the ground outside crying for an hour before she was noticed. Her autistic 7 year old has eloped numerous times, and her neighbors always bring him back before she notices he's gone. That's wild.
Can I ask a question though?
Hmm.
How'd she know that child was outside for 2 hours crying? Was she watching?
Mm.
Like, who was watching that child outside crying for 2 hours? That sounds like you trying to manipulate the story so that your point can be proven. But go ahead, bro.
They now have a severe roach and mouse infestation. The house
Mm.
unlivably dirty, and I genuinely fear for the safety of her children. To make matters worse, her husband has started smoking multiple packs of cigarettes a day outside without even opening a window, and is trying to convince her. she would do better if she would just smoke some pot.
So he smokes several packs a day outside without opening a window. I don't see how
Oh,
that
no,
makes sense.
I said that wrong. Several packs of cigarettes a day inside without opening a window. There we go.
Without opening a window.
Yeah, and is trying to convince her that she would be better if she would just smoke pot. So,
He's not wrong, but that's not the point.
instantly confirmed that she's white, right?
I think she might be
Hmm.
the husband. He could either be hillbilly white or he could be black just because I ain't gonna say why, but he could it's really 50-50 on what he could be. But go ahead.
All right. I feel like an asshole for calling CPS knowing that she's struggling and everything falls on her shoulders, but I legitimately tried to help so many times and the kids are suffering. Is she the asshole?
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna say yeah because that ain't your bit. It's your business, I guess, because you're a friend. But it's like unless they dying or you saw like marks, bruises, like they trying. I know you concerned, but it's like calling CPS is not gonna help those kids. Now they're gonna be in the system. Now they're gonna be separated. You said the 7-year-old autistic. Now he got to get taken away from his family and put into the system. So it's like you just kind of escalated the problem. You didn't really solve anything. Like I don't know why people think calling the government or the police ever solves stuff. That just kind of stop the situation you're looking at, but it makes it worse. So you kind of the asshole because you didn't have to call. You should have just got some people together that she know and had like an intervention on something like, yo, you need to get your shit together. It's not really a let me take your kids from you situation because that's not a friend. You didn't really help her. You kind of made her more stressed. You feel what I'm saying? So you kind of the asshole in that situation.
Actually,
Juwan, you disagree?
CPS is crazy.
No, I don't. What I was actually going to add to that is just it just sounds like you were building a case for it.
Yeah.
You were building your case. The you watching a child 2 hours laying down outside the window. It's your first thought, even when you see the child even attempt to go out that window, is you're gonna either run over there or call the parent. You let them know. But for you to just sit there and you watch, you are the person putting that child in danger. Because let's say I am inside and I don't know that they're out there. I do hold some fault to that as a parent. I do, but as a bystander outside, I hold you more accountable to the fact that you actually do see what's going on, and you're just waiting there to see what happens. Now, let's say you're on a two-story home and she was on the second floor, just outside on laying down on if it was a veranda or whatever the case may be, and hypothetically something happens and that child falls down, you are the person liable because you watched that happen. In any situation where somebody is in harm and there's a bystander and the bystander doesn't do anything, that bystander is held liable. And I think the same thing here. You as a bystander, it's your job to, whether it's that child in on that ledge or just the help you're supposed to give your friend. It don't sound like you were really trying to help your friend in her situation. It really just sounds like you judged her for the situation she was in, and you thought the only solution and what was going to make it better was to take those kids away. And like said, that is not going to make anything better, especially with the autistic kid, because especially when you're growing up raising an autistic child, it's hard as is. Now you're expecting people who don't know your child to try to understand them, understand their patterns, how they think, and that's not going to happen. So I think if she really thought this through, this would not have been the route she went.
I feel like her heart at the end of the day was in the right place. Her execution fell apart by calling CPS. Like this is honestly one of those, hey, maybe let's get some more family involved. Let's have like an intervention. Like if you're really wanting to like help out, last case this is literally last case scenario. This is the worst case scenario of calling
Yeah.
CPS. and you're the one that led to it. You're the
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
friend is a stretch. Friend is a hard stretch. That's a yoga stretch because you ain't really do nothing a friend would have did in this situation. You watched, build, like he said, build the case against this person, and then call CPS with this information to get the kid. Friend is a hard stretch, bro. Like,
The infestation in the crib, that may not even have to be something that's with me. It could be something that's just the building. The landlord isn't upkeeping, so every home here in here is infested with roaches, rats, the case may be, and that's just out of my control. But guess what? My lights are still on, my bills is being paid, so I'm taking care of what I need to take care of. But this other aspect of it, that's something that's out of my hands, out of my control.
and I feel like she knows that like her friend was like I guess it sounds like she was probably the one that was holding everything down that was putting them like I don't know I feel like they you're right I think that's not really a friend a friend really wouldn't do that you're a neighbor you're a neighbor at that point so
A
yes
Karen.
yes oh wait I think it's probably a throwaway account but yes you're an asshole you're the asshole of the week. Damn, I wish I had air horns. I think I have. All right. Y'all want to do one more story?
Hey, I like these.
All right, let's do another one.
That's a good one. That's a very good one.
Wait, what happened?
I said, dude, the one that said, my friend came out to me and I said, okay.
I think that was like the first one you read. Yeah,
Because
All right, let me go.
I need to know if they was already, like, if it was one of them friends that you already
you
knew
knew.
and it was just like, okay. But if it was like, I didn't know and then my brother hit me with, hey, bro, I think I might be gay. Okay is a crazy response to that. Like, they took a lot of confidence to say that to you.
All right, here we go. Am I the asshole for responding? Okay, to a friend coming out. I, 20 female, feel like this needs some context. So, firstly, I am not a very expressive person. You won't catch me squealing at good news or breaking down at anything bad. A friend of mine told me that they had something very important to tell me, really dragged it out, and eventually told me that they are bisexual. I responded, okay. And then they said, that's all. I responded, yeah, that's great. Now, I'm not homophobic. I myself am bisexual and don't see it as a big deal. I don't explain myself to people, and it's never been a big deal for me. I see it as normal. I see straight as normal. I see gay as normal. I really don't care. Love you for wait, I love who you want, sort of thing. Okay, so this person, a normal person, they just don't care.
Yeah.
Now getting called a bad friend is completely insensitive. I don't think that I did anything wrong, and wouldn't expect me to overreact or make a big deal about it. Others might have said I faked a more joyful reaction. I get what they're saying, but I don't see the point in faking excitement that I don't feel. Like, how is fake happiness from someone any help? Not that I'm not happy. I'm glad that they have the confidence to come out, but I don't see it as a big deal. Now they're off. Now they're being off with me and telling our friends how rude I was. So am I the asshole? I think this one's
No, you're not. But why you ain't just say that?
that that right there. But then I also think that Cedric, you're the perfect example of this. I think you're the type of person. No, no, let me let me rewind back.
Go
You're
ahead.
the perfect example of being not expressive when saying
Oh, go ahead. No, finish your story, bro. I was like, I don't think I texted you that before, but go ahead. Go ahead.
just saying like I have friends that I know that if I tell them something, they're gonna be expressive. They're gonna give emotions however they feel, positive or negative. I have other friends, they either care or they don't. that's there's a baseline like same expression. Cedric,
I mean,
you're one of those people. You're one of those people. I can tell you something, and like I feel like I could guess your reaction would be.
damn, I ain't know that. But okay. I
It's like so to the inner circle of people that like actually know us. Like there's I could tell you something, and then I could tell Shayla something, and
yeah,
I already know
it's
Shayla's
gonna
the
be
person that's gonna be like hyping me up no matter what.
okay. I feel what you're saying. Like she's gonna be overjoyed. I'm gonna be kind of even keel. Um, I feel like you don't have to be extreme with your reaction, but like I said, they literally could have just said that. Like the fact that you don't care either way, you still love them for who they are. Say that. Why? Okay is crazy because like you ain't really say nothing. Like I've never, for Chris said what he said. I've never came out to nobody before, but I know it takes a lot of confidence and a lot of courage to like tell somebody that you're gay, bisexual, whatever the case may be. So for you to get a text back to say okay, I would have been upset too. Like I'd be like, yo, that's it. You ain't got nothing else that you want to say. Like so, even if if somebody came to me and told me they was gay, even me being an even keeled person, I would try to text you more than just O and K because I know you need more than that in that time. You know what I mean? So like you were thinking about your emotions and your feelings more so than theirs.
Exactly. It's you were thinking about the fact that you already went through your journey, and you started off with the fact that you can relate in the fact that you're also bisexual. So when you got that message, you already went through your whole process of, probably coming out and accepting that, and you didn't put yourself in your friend's shoes of, this is a big moment for me, and probably the first time I'm actually saying it to somebody. And where I will say you were wrong is that communication. Communication. However, if you know me as a friend, and that's the fact that me, I'm a very cool, calm, and collected individual. Doesn't matter the news you give me. Like my response is very monotone, but inside I could be filled with so much joy for you. It just doesn't get expressed outwards, especially if it's a text message. You got no idea with the fact that you just told me that I'm smiling or whatever the case may be. But again, through text, it's very hard to feel or understand another person's emotions or how they're feeling. So I can understand how, for her, she's like, I'm not a bad friend because, this doesn't matter to me. Like, it's something that you can tell me this, it doesn't change anything. But for that other person, it's the world. But it's just that it's that lack of communication. That's really all it is.
Well, quick side note: can we just like tell the world that when you're texting somebody and you feel some type of way of like how they're texting you, like text is like a is so vague. It is I feel like you shouldn't take text to heart. That's why I feel like really important conversations shouldn't be through text because you don't know the infliction. You don't know. You can't read their face. Um, Mind you, I'm the type of person I send voice notes. I'll send like an emoji. So like if I really want someone to sort of like see how I feel about something, I'll send the voice note. I'll send like the an emoji. Shout out to Apple for having like the an emojis like faces really well and everything like that. But y'all, don't take text messages to heart because I've seen a lot of friendships get breaking up. I've seen and I've had personally had people think that I was saying something a certain way when I really wasn't. Now, like I said, if I send a voicemail, if I send a meme, if I send a GIF, you might be able to understand where I'm going with it. But text messages, like just I think that's the if you're an overthinker, if you're anxious, um, just have that conversation in person. But yeah, yeah, this story. hmm,
I do totally agree with the voice message. Like I feel like that is slept on. Folks don't really use voice messages for some reason. I feel like Voice messages is the equivalent of a phone call without anybody interrupting you. Like, you know, you're on the phone, you're trying to get a point across, somebody hears something, they respond. Voice message, you can get a minute and 15 seconds or 45 seconds and get your point across, and they can hear your energy and your voice or whatever. So I feel like folks sleep on voice messages a lot. Like I learned that, and as of the last year, voice messages is really the way to go. Stop texting. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I found one. This one's wild.
Okay, good.
Am I the asshole for wanting to go to a funeral of a girl that I helped get addicted to drugs?
I got one question, and then you're gonna answer it with the story. Did she die from the drug that you helped her get addicted to?
Like specific?
That, that's the question. You can answer it with the story, but I just gotta know that.
Okay. All right. So I want to sincerely thank everyone who commented. Oh wait, no. I want the story. I want the story. Um, this is an update to it. Dang. I don't know. Yeah, this is an update. Well,
I think.
so the
Oh,
funeral,
good.
yeah. So this funeral service was this past Thursday, but before then, I brought all the advice. Oh yeah, this is definitely like an updated post. God damn it! But even like before the context of the story, are they the asshole for going to the funeral?
No, only if she did not die from the specific drug that you have to get addicted to. Because you still can care about somebody and y'all had bad decisions. If she just further on her life and then died, you can still care and then spin back and try to, you know what I'm saying, be there for the memories and everything. But if you have to get addicted to a drug and that drug killed her, you shouldn't be there because the people around her ain't gonna want to see you.
So yo, this sounds like Euphoria. Maybe I'll watch that.
I know what you're talking about, never seen it.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you saying yes, they the asshole?
Their hearts are in the right place. I think. I don't know. I really, dang, I really wish it was like a link to the actual post. But I think
I say mm, I think you're the asshole if you go knowing the family doesn't want you there. Because yes, even if you were the person who gave her the drug she OD and died on, your intention was not to kill this person, right? So I think the decision whether you go or not is left up to the family. Now, if the family had no opinions about you being there, by all means, while it's a tragedy how your friend passed away, you still you still deserve the right to mourn them, even if you were there while it happened, because you probably more than likely did not intend for this person to die, and this is probably still an important person to you. You deserve that opportunity to mourn.
yeah, I'm trying to find one more, but a lot of these are like updates. Okay, here's one. Am I the asshole for telling my extended family how many men, roughly, my sister has slept with, and slept with after she outed our youngest brother as a virgin?
First of all, a version ain't even nothing crazy to tell your family that they like. How is that an equivalent? Somebody tell somebody they're a virgin and you like, yo, you know this motherfucker that slept about 35 months. How is that the same thing? You can tell the story, but that's go ahead, bro.
All right, so here's the story. We've had a family dinner this evening. My family has four kids in total: me, my elder sister, younger sister, and eldest youngest brother. Extended family attended our family dinner, so all of our significant others, our cousins, our aunts, our uncles, damn, everybody's there. During the dinner, my elder sister and youngest brother got into a mild disagreement. My sister seemed, at least to me, to be coming across as very aggressive out of frustration of losing, and said in argument. The two of them were absorbed in the argument and realized the rest of us were getting a bit fed up. Eventually, my sister got really fed up and said, "Shut up. I'm not going to argue with a 22-year-old virgin." My brother hadn't done any personal attacks up until that point and was completely unprovoked. I think it might have been the alcohol, as my sister is a mean drunk. That's wild.
You said this is a sister, brother, whatever, telling this about they.
Hmm.
Hey, bro, I need to call my brothers and sisters because it seems like some people got ops for their family members. Because that's first of all, why you telling us you're mean drunk?
Hmm.
What I got to do with the story? Because it just said she was drunk that night. Go ahead, bro.
Anyway, I immediately told my sister to grow up and that she was making an embarrassment of herself. She replied by saying everyone knows that he's a virgin and she didn't mean to say anything wrong. This annoyed me as my bro definitely has confidence issues and doesn't need to be made fun of like this. So I responded by saying how she slept with well over 100 men while she was in college.
Oh,
And that since everyone in the family knows that it's not a big deal, right? Turns out that her husband didn't know this, amazingly. I generally assumed that he must have known. He left the party angrily, saying my sister misled him about her past. Family is now blaming me for their marital problems. I refuse to, as I didn't do anything wrong. My sister bullied my brother in front of everyone, and all I did was give her a taste of her own medicine. Am I the asshole?
Yes! Yo, you just ruined a marriage because she called your brother a virgin, bro. Well, 100. First of all, 100 is
that's crazy.
that's wow. First of all, let's start there. 100, well over. She was getting around in college. That's her business, though.
I can see how it's possible though.
I didn't say it was impossible.
You did it.
Over, well over 100. That's at least 150 in my book. You don't say well over until it touch 50. So that's 150.
It's
If
like
somebody say well over, it
120.
got no 120 ain't well over.
well, it was like a good like 135, 137.
Okay, 137 men. It ain't your business. Cause first of all, y'all ain't true sisters if you don't know if she told her husband that yet or not. Yeah, like y'all ain't never talked about that. She done told you. You ain't never be like, hey, don't tell. You know what I'm saying, Juwan. He don't know I've been fucking. So you clearly the asshole here. You ruined the marriage. All she did was hurt that man's feelings a little bit. And once he get a little piece of cootie cat, his confidence gonna go back up. You can't fix that. You can't fix that. That's crazy.
Because they definitely probably had conversations before they got married about their maybe about their past of things of that nature. I yeah, because she probably told his man if he asked, some men do, it definitely wasn't gonna be 100. It probably wasn't even gonna be 20.
So here's
100 is crazy.
my question is that he's upset. He left the party angrily saying that the sister misled him about her past. So like at that point, it's like the like did they meet like at Bible like at like Bible college or something like that? Like is this
Hey, hey. I wonder if she told him that she was a virgin.
Oh,
Yeah, could you imagine? Could you imagine that? Like, only been one dude, only one dude other than you. You know what I mean? Because she can't lie and say she a virgin. One dude other than you, and then you go to the family, the cookout.
they had two zeros.
Yo, they like, oh yo. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I was married to somebody and I did not know that information, would I care? I ain't gonna say I would care about the number. Over 100 is crazy. Like I ain't shaming anybody. You know what I'm saying? Anybody at all. But over 100 is crazy. And then for you to find out at a family function, not your family, hers. So you there as a guest, you chilling, you eating your food, they arguing, you ain't in it. You arguing with your brother.
I can
I
see it
ain't got nothing to say about it.
see it now. Grandma Carrie,
Oh,
like I always knew she was a hoe.
yeah, you know grandma just straight up. Yep, yep. They knew. The family knew. He the only one got up mad. Everybody else just was like, shit's starting to add up.
With him saying he felt like he's been misled, I want to know, off hearing 100, what's the first thought about his wife that came to his mind?
Hmm.
First thought, you know what the first thought was? She probably said she was like a athletic trainer on the football team or some shit. Or she had to be something like that. She had to be popular. She was a cheerleader. You know
She
what I'm
trained
saying?
in the football
She
team.
was in a sorority. You know what I'm saying? Like she was doing something. So she was out there training. She's different type of training. But
Yeah,
I just think
that's
that's a
probably
lot
that.
to take in. You know what I mean?
All right, so let's put ourselves in this guy's shoes. Shayla asked, "How would
Okay.
you feel if you found out that your wife was a hoe?"
If I believed she was a saint beforehand, it would be a lot to take in. I'm not one to judge off body counts. I don't even ask that no more. But if I was misled, it's not even that you a hoe that I'm mad about. It's that you a lying hoe. You know what I'm saying? How long, Shayla? When the last time you went to a family function? Let me, yo, I ain't peep her story, bro.
Shayla
She
said,
said, "Hey, I was a."
Shayla was like, "Hey, I did nothing." Okay, Shayla.
Yo, let me find out Shayla and submitted this. Shayla, how many siblings you got, bro? I'll just ask. 100 is 100 is crazy, but if I found out my loving wife had slept with over 100 men in college, would I be upset? Yes, because you're a lying hoe. It's not that you're a hoe. It's that you're a lying hoe. So I would have probably left too. You know, so that's embarrassing to find out some information like that from her sister yelling at her, and you ain't never heard this information before. As a partner, we got to be completely honest with each other. Otherwise, this ain't gonna never go nowhere. Like if you lying to me about the body count, I don't trust you at all now, bro. Cause I know she done told him some calm shit. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I was a little frisky in high school and college. You know, I probably had about 25 bodies. She probably hit him with something like that, and he probably belt up. Okay, 25. You know what I'm saying? That means you was moving a little bit, but you weren't really. To learn he's about 137. I didn't know how old they were.
So
They
the
got the
elder
age.
sister was 29. Um, she didn't put her age though. But
No,
yeah,
the whole twin. I mean, the sister that was out here 29.
yeah.
No, 137 at 29.
I say one thing I'd have to ask you is how often were you getting tested? Because it's one thing that 100 is a lot, but to be because 4 years, that's what 25 people a year in a four year university. Was that 25? 25? Yeah, that's 25 people a year. That's not that many people in a year. It's not that many people. Hey, bro.
Because he said that's not that many.
Hey,
You said that's not that many. 25 people in a year, that means what? About two people a month? In college, that means you was in no relationships because
true.
you couldn't have been in no relationship, or you could have, you just didn't give a damn. And two people a month single, it's still crazy because
It's not.
usually it's not in theory, but let's think realistically. If you have sex with two people in January, you don't spin the block at all. February come around, you still have sex with two more people. Don't spin the block at all. March come around, two more people. So that means like either you having terrible sex with these men each month, or it's just dudes just ramming the hell out of you, and to the point where you ain't got no type of entanglement with them at all. You just dishing it all, and then you lying. That's that's a Wilhelmina chain.
Because think about this. That's the hard thing to admit. You 29 now. You graduate college when you 22, right? You 7 years removed from that experience. You've probably done a whole lot of growth to where you reflect and like, I was wilding back then. So that's probably something you do want to keep to yourself because it's probably not your proudest moment.
My last point. Yes, you can keep it to yourself, but I feel like if you comfortable enough to tell your loudmouth sister, then you could tell your husband.
That's different.
You feel what I'm saying?
That's different.
So you telling me you could be in a relationship with a woman after knowing that she lied to you about something as simple as the body count. Because if I married you, we know each other on a deeper level to the point
Mhm.
where you should be able to, like, marriage. If it's a boyfriend, it is what it is. But marriage, y'all went through a whole process of all of that talking, making sure y'all was the right ones for each other. And then I learned you done had sex with everybody in the state of Georgia at the family reunion. That's crazy to me. I'm leaving too,
Can I ask
even
you a
if I'm the
question?
ride.
If you made a mistake 7 years ago, right, and you regret it to this day, right? It was an immature moment, that period of time that you had, and you know, moving forward, if you told your significant other,
100 is more than a moment.
okay,
That's exactly
that's
what I was gonna hit
okay,
him with.
okay, okay,
That's
okay,
exactly
all
what I
right,
was
all
about to
right,
hit him with.
okay, okay. So
Wait, bro.
okay, 100 is a lot, but again, it's because I know people who do have that body count, and it's easier for women in college to do it because literally you just got to walk out and you can. It's your picking. It's your picking, and coming from a. So I went to. For anyone who doesn't know, I went to Syracuse University. It's the what it varies each year, but it's one of the top party schools in the country. You're going to get at least 4 days of partying each week, and there's at least 4 parties happening around campus. I know people, you get one person at one party, boom, you back out going to the next.
That's
Threesomes are not unusual. That's 3 bodies at once. Hey, that's another thing. Out of those hundreds, are those singles, are those one on ones or menage a trois or more? Because, okay, it's college, bro. 100 still wild, though.
I'm not arguing that a person cannot have 100 and some bodies. I could meet a girl, yeah, you're right, especially at 29, that done had some experience.
Mhm.
But if you gonna do it, don't lie to the nigga that wanna cuff you. If you gonna be out here, you need to tell this man, hey, I had a little fun in college. I'm letting you know that. Especially if he
And you just lied.
asks,
You just lied.
what you mean?
You had a little fun in college, and then you gonna hit me with 100. You lied. Misleading.
I'm saying to you, they had to have, if for him to get mad, they had to have that conversation. If I've never asked you what your bodies is and your sister say you got 137, I'm asking questions. 130, I'm not mad, but it's like, God damn. But
Hey, you think he married her after hearing that? Beforehand.
no, they were married. They were married already. Oh,
so
you
you
saying?
think if he
I'm saying
was dating
beforehand.
her,
Yeah, if they were dating and the question of, and I don't even like that question though, but the question came up of how many bodies you had, and she said 100. Do you think he still says, "Oh yeah, this is the right one for me"?
I think if I can't speak for him, I want to speak for myself. If he likes this woman to the point to think about marrying her, like, and then she tell him, okay, towards like once they get serious, I got 107 bodies, right? Am I gonna say, hell no, I'm not marrying you? I don't. I'm like, okay, personally, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't got nothing, if the only way I would care personally, if like we still stay in that town and now we walk in the streets and go into Kroger and niggas is just looking at you and whispering like, hey, that's the shorty that me and such 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 had at the crib. That's when I'm gonna care. But if it's like you went to Syracuse and we stay in Georgia, I'm not caring to the point where I'm breaking up with you. Now, if you hiding it, I care. You feel what I'm saying? I care.
But then that means you always care, because that what you telling me is circumstantial. Because the 100 body matters to you based off location. It's circumstantial.
So Shayla just said that she didn't give him the option to be okay with it before marriage. Now they're married, and he feel like, dang, she lied.
Facts. Facts. That's the whole point. Like That's the point. That's the obvious point. You don't lie, and especially you don't go into a marriage with any lies, because that marriage is not going to be on a, you know what I'm saying? It's not a foundation that you can continue on. But just the hundred and some bodies itself, not to linger on to this conversation because you got more topics, but just the hundred and some bodies itself, I would not care. And it is circumstantial because it's, as a man, you you want a wife that is not easily obtainable. And if you live in a city that everybody's had her, it's a hard fit. I ain't saying like, I'm not gonna lie and say like I wouldn't care. I would a little bit if every time I go somewhere, every time I say something about my wife, they go, "Oh yeah, you right. I know about that." Because there's some dudes that are disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? They've been called you out on like, yeah, your wife probably the best one on been with it. Like that's some crazy shit to hear on a random Wednesday.
Yeah,
So
I brought the whole
we
family.
gotta move.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, she's the asshole. Is she the asshole?
Yes. Man,
Right.
you can't just expose people's business like that.
Yeah, that was wild. So yeah, so that's Reddit. Am I the asshole? Check out that subreddit if you want to read more stories like that. Let us know if you want us to read more stories on
I ain't
stream.
never gonna forget that one though.
Yeah, that one's wild. Let's go through
100.
our hot takes of the week. We're sort of gonna fly through some of this. Let's start off with Kanye and McDonald's doing a collab. Um, good, good for Kanye, forever chasing that bag, making that money. It makes sense because he had that Super Bowl ad. It was
Oh
in that
yeah,
commercial, so makes sense that that he's doing that. Have you guys seen like the preview for it, like the box?
yeah. It looked like an unhappy meal. Like no cap. It it looks like something Kanye would put out, but it looked depressing.
Hmm.
Low key.
It it looks weird. It sort of looks like a So what if you haven't seen it? It's a like the box for the sandwich is like it's like a square, and it looks like the sandwich is like printed on the outside of it. Um, these, I mean, I want to see what like the dollar amount for like these like collabs are.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Travis Scott, I had one last year.
Yep.
I think BTS
Sweetie had one.
we had one. Yeah, that one was random. I wasn't expecting.
Yeah. You know why they did hers though? Because she was doing those little weird food
Hmm.
combinations, so they kind of like fed off of that while she was popular doing it. So it was smart.
Yeah, so I don't think there's like an actual date for when the collab drops, but if you eat McDonald's, you're gonna look out for that. Let's see. Next up, let's talk about these shootings that are going on because like I think it's wild that it's happening. Of course, like my condolences for like all of these families that are like going through all this. But I feel like there is like a narrative going on where now any type of shooting is being put on the news. So I think
Mm.
I read like a stat this morning where over like the past like week there were like so many like shootings. Um at this point it doesn't make any sense that the government isn't really that just it sort of shows that the government doesn't really care, but like they aren't putting some sort of like legislation. They're not. I feel like it like we hear about these shootings, we hear about these stories, and no one really cares until it happens to them.
Yeah. Um, I saw something that was a great point. Somebody said, in order to get a gun, it should be pretty much the same basis as trying to get your license. They was like, when you go get your license, it's not just a simple process of signing up. You have to pass a written, you have to pass the actual exam, you have to have the paperwork. They analyze you once you come in to get your license. Like you can't just be out there doing whatever you want to do on the road. They take all these precautions to make sure that, except for that one time when they just gave all the teenagers their license and they didn't care. COVID first hit, that was wild because they took that back instantly. They was like, "Yo, what's up, bro? You just got." But if you did that same thing with the guns and just say, hey, yo, you gotta pass this written test, I gotta actually meet you. You gotta actually show me that you know what you're doing and stuff like that. Just simple precautions of that nature instead of just saying, oh, you got a clean background and you got the money and you pass this, you're good. I feel like they should. I don't know why guns are so easy to get. Like, it's not like I get it. Folks need to self-defend their homes and stuff, but it's like, yo, at least check who you giving a gun to. Because if I could just tell you what I'm doing with it and you believe it, that's kind of crazy to me.
The crazy part is that I think with the shooting that happened, it's sad that like now I have to like what shooting am I trying to talk about? Um,
Yeah.
one of these mass shootings that the person like the argument is okay. You have to do all these checks. You have to do this, that, and a third for people to get the gun. Okay, now what if they get their gun and like they hold on to it? They do all this research. They find out where they're going to go, and then they go do what they need to do. That's happening. Then also people are also getting these guns and like day of doing these shootings. So it's on both sides. Like you could go through these checks. You could have you could have like these checks and balances. But what's to stop someone from going on this on a shooting spree?
Nothing's gonna stop someone. Like, it's a lot of people out there that get their license and still wreck their car because they can't drive. Like, it's still gonna be slips through the cracks and folks still gonna do stuff. But without you even trying, it's like you don't care. Like, if your logic is it's not 100%, so I'm not gonna try. That's not really sound logic to the point where you're actually caring. Like, I feel like if you don't have any checks and balances because you saying, "Oh, we can do all of that and it still will happen," well, it's happening now. So at least put something in place where you trying. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't think they care to the point where they actually gonna try something, but you never know.
John, what you think?
I'm A pistol is not the only gun that you're legally allowed to purchase. You can purchase a higher caliber weapon, right?
Hmm.
I know they made some changes to laws where, like, I think an AR-15 you no longer can purchase in a store, or I think it cannot be automatic. But I hate the defense of in the name of the Second Amendment and the right to protect your home. You do not need a fully automatic weapon to protect your home if you have an intruder. I don't know who you thought you was. You're not SWAT. You're not a Navy SEAL. That's not a weapon that you need on an everyday basis. I think if we were to, I understand people want the right to bear arms. I think the only arms as a civilian you should be allowed to bear is a handgun. Why? There is You're less likely to shoot up 30 people in a very short amount of time if your magazine can only hold 12 rounds and your fire rate isn't that that high. So in the sense that you can't stop, mass shootings from happening. You cannot stop shootings from happening. I definitely think the mass aspect of it, there definitely there are definitely policies, things that we can put in place um, to just change how we deal with things. And the fact that we've set such a precedent where it seems like it's okay because there is no change, because these things happen, and anyone who's thinking it, you look back and you see nobody moving any fingers to make any changes. It's I feel like we live in a society where while we don't condone it, we enable it by doing nothing. And I think it was a congressman or a representative, he recently spoke out about that. And it's where they're in Congress, they're very quickly to grab their pen and jump on a bill. And when everything happened in Uvalde, why isn't anyone rushing to put things together? It's like what exactly are y'all scared of, right? I don't get it. I truly don't understand. And I saw somebody recently, not recently, they made a post about what happened in Uvalde, and they made a connection between abortion and what happened. And someone mentioned that, oh, I don't think that's something that can be compared. And I was like, well, think deeply about that. We're very quickly to make laws and regulations to restrict women from making decisions over their bodies because in the name of that your fetus is considered a human being and you're killing a human being. Well, we have people every day walking into schools killing children. And it's not like we have one, two instances where this is the case. Like these people are walking into schools killing children every year. Like, where is the urgency to make that change? So it just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. And it's sad because, I'm a father. So as a father, I think of the fact that my son is going to be going to elementary school in a couple of years. And you think of how they even handled what happened in Uvalde. And you guys decided to barricade this man in the room with kids and allow him to kill more children. The fact that you guys didn't follow proper procedure in handling, and I get it, it's not I we have fire drills, we have all these different things, and we all know they tell us walk quietly in a line, single file line down the stairs, but realistically we all know if there's a fire, it's going to be hell. There's no rules being followed. So I get in the heat of the moment, it can be hard in that position to really make the right call. But I don't know, man. There's just certain changes that need to be made. We live in I feel like here, my brother, I can't even get into my brother's school until I push the intercom and they allow me to come inside the school. Like we protect so many buildings. Why are we not protecting our children in the place that they are most vulnerable? Because you're not really having that many cops who are armed on these school grounds. So who's really there to protect the kids? And you're not changing anything, even though you see it happening repeatedly. You saw what happened in Sandy Hook, and we have things like Columbine and all these other schools, and you're very quick to, and that's another thing, you're very quick to reopen schools during mass shooting, which I don't understand. That's crazy. So there's a whole lot that we do in this country that enables this because it's almost like we just become so desensitized to it that it happens and we're going to talk about it, but we're so used to it that there's no real change that happens because we see it all the time.
So, quick question: do you think that we're starting to see more of this in the news cycle to start to desensitize us?
Mm,
Hmm.
that might be because I was gonna look at it as they only do it when something drastic happens, it's current event, and then they put it to the news. But that's a good point because when something like that happens, people always be up in uproar, try to change the gun, and then like a couple months go by, people they still care, but they don't talk about it anymore. Like people, it just die down. So maybe if they put it out a lot, it's gonna make most people just mm. Like social media is still gonna talk about it. Social media is still gonna try to push it, but I don't think they really care too much 'cause they probably not on social media. Most of them folks in the office are like they look like bulldogs. Like they old. You know what I mean? You know how they got them jaws and stuff. They was out there with Abraham Lincoln and stuff. So they not really on social media. So maybe they pushing it actually to the news, like so the people like the older people that they actually care about their reaction will get numb to it because the younger generation don't care. They always trying to make a change. But the older generation, the people that they actually listen to, they not gonna care after a minute.
Yeah. So, gun violence, violence in general, it's getting wild, especially in we're based in Georgia. Georgia's getting pretty intense. It feels like every other weekend, either
Somebody get shot.
celebrity getting shot or just regular people getting shot. It's senseless. It's senseless. And it's tough to really sit there and like come up with a solution because it has to be like a group effort. It's not
Mm.
I can't come up with like a solution and then like I don't know, I feel like we could talk about it, but at the end of the day it's gonna have to come down to the action that we take.
Ask y'all a question because I think this is kind of weird in the fact that we we have to agree to privacy laws on any app that we use, but did you know that the shooter in Uvalde, he had texted many different people like trying to get a weapon, trying to get a gun. And I feel like it's not the only instance where a lot of people, when they plan out these shootings, they're putting it on forums that are publicly monitored. And I get it; it's a slippery slope when it comes to privacy laws and protecting someone's First Amendment rights. But I feel like there's so many situations that we could have prevented because we knew it was going to happen, but because of the laws that we have in place, legally, our hands are tied until something happens.
Mm,
Shayla made a good point. Like she said, people had to start taking action. Like if somebody send you a weird message, share it. So like that's a good point. If your friends send you a message trying to find a AK-47 or something, I ain't saying call the police, but you may need to take some sort of action, like to figure out what he trying to do, because certain guns that people are looking for ain't really like what you trying to do with that, bro. Like he said earlier, you don't really need no fully automatic weapon for self-defense. Like you just don't. So Shayla made a good point. Maybe you should start sharing it with friends, family, or nearby schools. Like it's sad that you gotta say that at schools and churches and I know I ain't been a movie theater in a minute, but those are like targets that people are hitting. But like that's just probably the only action, the course of action that folks could go about. Just tell people. Like that's it.
she said he sent a message to someone saying wait until tomorrow or something like that. That's yeah. I mean, it's you have to like I guess like that's wild. I feel like if I saw a message of someone saying that they were, like unhinged or they're gonna shoot up a school like that, that should be the obvious like, okay, we instantly have to report. And I think the shooting that happened in New York, and I want to say that he like was on record of like saying like some really wild stuff, and he should have been put on some sort of like watch list, and that never happened. So
Mm,
it's tough. So it's a tough situation. But like I feel like having the conversation about it, talking about it, and then once again, like I don't know, we have to we have to hold our like these people that are running for office accountable for making some sort of change, making some sort of legislation. Uh, this is I think this year is going to be like a wild like governor's race, especially in Georgia. Um, it's wild that in Georgia you don't need a concealed permit anymore. You can just have a gun on you.
that's facts. People can just walk around with 'em. And then you only gotta be 18. Yeah, 18 to have a shotgun. So like that's a wild like what you need a shotgun for. You know, like I know an 18-year-old, 19-year-old that has a shotgun in his room. Just that's just way that you can have that. So like I don't know, those type of weapons is just I don't know. That don't really make sense to me.
All right, so let's um let's change the subject a little bit. Let's liven things up a little bit. Let's talk about the NBA Finals and what's going on with the NBA Finals. And we have our resident basketball head, Said the second here, talk about
Hey man.
what's going on with the NBA Finals. What's going
I
on?
can give you I'll give you a quick update, you know what I'm saying? The NBA Finals 2022, the Warriors versus the Celtics. It's 1-1 right now. You know, the Warriors sadly split the two games they had at home. They going back to Boston. Um, the NBA Finals, I think the narrative is can Steph Curry get Finals MVP and tie LeBron James? Shout out to Shayla because I know she don't like Steph. Can he tie LeBron James with the same amount of ring? Most people are rooting against the Warriors because people don't like to see consistent greatness. Once you achieve greatness or top level, top tier success, people start hating on you because it's like, all right, my guy, you got yours, let somebody else get theirs. So a lot of people are rooting for the Celtics because the Celtics have not been there with their young team. Me personally, I don't care for the Celtics. I'm biased, completely biased. So my take is completely one-sided. I 100% am rooting for the Warriors. Really, all I want to say in terms of the basketball world is I don't know what the hell Klay Thompson doing. It's been 2 games, and he still got a milk carton with his face on it. So I don't know what he doing. But if he decided to join, Jason Tatum in the first half is pretty good. Second half, Jason Tatum, I don't know who that is. Uh, Jalen Brown has been playing really good. He's been executing. He's been getting into fights with Draymond Green. I don't know if he's doing. I think they trying to. I really think they trying to get Draymond out of there. Draymond the easiest person to get suspended. So okay, let's see see the people agree too. Warriors in 7. I was gonna say 6, but I'll take 7. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at 7. If we could go around and do our predictions for the final, I would probably go Warriors in 7. I want 6, but I would probably put my money towards Warriors in 7 with Steph being Finals MVP. Um, I do think it'll be 2-2 after these 4 games because it's 1-1 right now. I do think the Warriors split one of these games in Boston. I would be extremely shocked if the Warriors was down 3-1 after this because just their resiliency, being there before, it matters. You know what I mean? When you've done something, everybody know this. When you've done something a bunch of times, they've been to the finals 5 times with a record of 3-2. The Celtics have been to the finals with this current team 0 times with a record of 0-0. So that matters. And then I really think it's gonna be fun. Like they playing defense. You ain't really the Cavs been in the finals, LeBron been in the finals. They don't play defense, so you really ain't been seeing. I don't know that you ain't really been seeing those 2 sides of defense played in the basketball game. I'm glad for the first game. Neither one of these games really were close. First game, the Warriors was up and they blew the lead, and it wasn't like a clutch game at the end. But I just want to see some good games between game 4 through 7. I want like just see some people going in. Jordan Poole, bright young man. I think his third year in the league. He's putting up great numbers for the Warriors. Like I said, if Klay Thompson stay on that milk carton, he gonna be on that milk carton next year, and Jordan Poole gonna be in the starting spot. So I don't really want to see that happen. But he really, if he play like he did, like Amira, if he play like he did game 2, I'm not gonna give him Finals MVP, but he'll add to the team to the point where I feel like the Warriors will pull it out. Juwan, you made a face. You got something to disagree with?
Got a chance in hell and take the Clay spot. That's one. Um, Come on now, come on. But yeah, I didn't like what I saw from. I'm going Boston in 7. I think it's going to take Boston at least 7 games. At least it's going to take Boston 7 games to beat the Warriors. Yeah, there's no way you can get it done before that. I didn't like what I saw last game, especially from Jalen Brown. We spoke about it. I just thought the inexperience for the Celtics, it's showing in shot selection that we were seeing from Jalen Brown, taking shots with you got 10, 14 seconds left on the clock. You got the last shot for a half, and as soon as you cross half court, you take that shot. And the fact that we can see Marcus Smart talking to you at the end of the half, like slow it down. Literally going into the third quarter, you do the exact same thing. So the inexperience is starting to show, which does worry me a little. However, one thing I'll say is they're gonna figure it out. I know they're gonna figure it out. On the Warriors side, I think Jordan Poole is the X factor. You already know what Steph gonna do. He on a mission for his Finals MVP. Clay, hey, it's hit and miss with Clay right now, but I say Jordan Poole is the X factor. He's just exciting to watch. That boy is exciting to watch. He's gonna be running the league in a couple years.
I first and foremost, I want to say like I talking out my ass here, but I want to say Warriors in 7 because I feel like they're gonna drag this out to the very end. I think that, but then at the same time, the Celtics like they've proven that like they can keep up. This last game, not so much. But I feel like they'll be able to make the adjustments. They'll be able to do what they need to do to still keep this like a competitive finals. Um, I don't know. Like I thought that this would like I thought this would have been like more of a. I think it's still early in the finals to really like give like a definite. I think it's for some people it's like where they lie with like their fandom between the teams and
Yeah,
everything like that. I'm conspiracy head, so like I'm like, yo, the NBA's trying to make as much money as they can, so they can try and drag this on as much as they can. So
yeah.
I am. I'm just looking for
I,
just
I think I think I got to see one close game first, like where it comes down to execution. Because to be honest with you, when it comes to winning, the stars show up when it's a close game. It
Mhm.
really shows you execution, which team is more disciplined, which team knows what to do and where to be in situations. And just from watching the Warriors since 2012, like they've executed, especially ever since 2015. Like they've only lost two series since 2015 in the playoff. They lost to the Cavs when it was up 3-1, and they lost to the Raptors when Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson went down. So both of those series was winnable. They never really had a series where they were just out of it. So it really comes down to execution and ball movement, to be honest with you. I feel like, yeah, Jason Tatum has the potential to be the best player on the floor, but it be seeming like Jason Tatum don't want to hoop sometimes, man. Like he'll come out in the first half and look like the reincarnation of Kobe Bryant, and in the second half, I couldn't tell you who he was. Like it's to the point where social media is calling him first half Jason Tatum. Like he is playing godlike in the first half. I'm not even joking. Now, last game he had a good third, not even third. They got destroyed in third, but I think he had some good stats. I really think every team know the Warriors third quarter is what you got to fight. If you up whatever at halftime, third quarter the Warriors are that's a different team. That's not even the same Warriors team. Third quarter Warriors are a different team. They're like the Warriors on 2K in 2016 or whatever. Like so if you like the Celtics actually put up a fight the first game and came back in the fourth. So I don't think they really care for that game. That game don't really tell me nothing because once you already stole one, most teams give up on that second one. Yes, you can steal both, and then now you're going home up 2-0, but a lot of people just their goal is to steal one and then just win at home. So I think game three will tell you a lot because the Warriors gonna want to take that one. They gonna come in with energy like, hey, yo, we got to be up 2-1. They gonna be nervous because now they at home and they know they gotta win. Same way we was just in. But the difference is the Warriors don't come out and lay eggs like I thought they did against Dallas, but they don't usually come out and just let a team win. A team usually got to beat them. They don't just be like, we won one, we good. So the Celtics, I think it's more pressure on them in Game 3 because they got to go up 2-1 in order to have that comfortability of Game 4 to be at home. But it's gonna really come down to how they play in the third quarter. If Celtics are lackluster and Al Horford score 2 points and start playing like he did when he was in Atlanta, when he didn't want to win, now you want to go to Boston and actually win when he was down here with us and he didn't care. But if he play and score 2 points again, then nah, they don't got a shot.
all right. Question: who you guys taking for MVP?
I'm going Steph because I chose the Warriors. But since he chose the Celtics, I would like to hear his answer.
If Celtics went, they can't even. I'd say the one player just of how people are playing now who could get it off of. I think if a Celtics player would get it, defense. It'd have to be defense for stopping someone on the Warriors. But off of offense, hey, it's just too much inconsistency off these first two games. So right now, I'm gonna say it would have to be a Marcus Smart defensive player. You got to lock down. You got to turn it around and lock down Steph. You have to lock down Steph. If you I think if you successfully take Steph out of that Finals MVP, you the MVP.
Steph Steph averaging 30. Right.
Right. How much was LeBron averaging when they gave it to Iggy?
When they lost,
Yeah,
it don't matter. They lost.
you're right.
But all I'm saying is Marcus Smart could get it. I'm not mad at that pick. Like I would probably pick Jalen Brown, obviously Jason Tatum because he's the star, and
Jalen Brown most definitely.
when you at home, usually your star is gonna lead you. You know what I mean? The role players are gonna follow. But with him, Marcus Smart, he scored 2 points last game. So usually, in order for you to get it off defense, you got to at least score 15 or a little above 15. Something that's like, okay, he was actually doing something. Like if you put up two and playing good defense, you're not, you're just gonna be a good defender. They'll probably give it to Jason Tatum just for averaging 24 or 22. Like he ain't got to do nothing crazy. But I'm gonna go with Steph because I think Steph has been hearing this narrative that he cannot win Finals MVP. He cannot be the best player on the winning team, which 2015 he was obviously the best player. Like, come on. The only reason Iguodala won is because they made a role change and it actually worked, and that's the reason why they won. So they had to give it to him. But I think he hears it. I think everybody on that team is trying to get him that Finals MVP. I think the coaches know he needed. So like I think I would go with Steph. I think that's the obvious answer. Even if Clay pick it up, he had two bad first two games, so I don't think he could get it. Jordan Poole is the only person, or maybe a Draymond, because Draymond, one thing about Draymond, he step up. Draymond don't he don't fade away when it comes down to it. Draymond is not looked at as a top player because people don't like him, but he's 6'7". He's got long arms and he's big. You see a lot of players, Draymond just running two people and get a bucket, and it's like nobody could do nothing about it. Like he's not just a small dude. So if Steph have a couple bad games, I look at Draymond and really a sleeper, Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins is really I know Jordan Poole they saying is X factor, but everybody expecting Jordan Poole to put up 20. Andrew Wiggins nobody talked about. Like Andrew Wiggins is a good defender, so he can do that. He can hold Jason Tatum to a bad shooting night, and then he can go out and have a random game. We put up 27, 28, and then if he shoot good enough percentages, they'll be looking at it like that. So I think nobody care about that conference finals MVP. I mean, respectfully, but no one's gonna give him that. Like nobody's gonna give him that because ever since he won that, they've been saying, well, LeBron got like 10, so they just not gonna give him that. I think once he wins the finals MVP, I think Steph goal should be to catch Magic. Like I don't know if you ever gonna be as good as Magic just because they have that nostalgia thing. Everybody from the 80s and 90s, you're never gonna catch them, but if you can you can get 4 or 5 rings and you got a Finals MVP. Obviously, you don't have 4 or 5 Finals MVP, and you're 6'1", 190 or whatever. It looked that different. Magic Johnson was 6'9". You feel me? Like you're expected to be good, like in the league. If you're 6'9", can handle and do all that. Steph 6'2", 190, pulling from 35 is different.
And that's what I want to say. Like that's the crazy part is that like at the end of the day, like what other player do you have in the league that at the end of the day, the play is don't let that nigga get the ball.
It's it's only a couple people now. Like it's Steph and probably Damian Lillard. Like them the only two that I can think of that is just anywhere on the court they touch the ball, you're worried. Like, hey yo, somebody double team them. Like KD, yes, obviously, but I'm not gonna talk about the KDs and LeBrons. KD, yes, but it's nothing you can do about KD. Like if KD want a bucket, KD gonna get a bucket. Like KD could be from half court. If you want to pull it, you can be there, but it's nothing you can do. Steph, it's like you can actually try. You know what I mean? You can hit him with some differences. I ain't saying they're gonna work, but it's a better chance. KD is just gonna be, hey man, if y'all got a way to stop KD, somebody tell.
Do you think we're getting to the point with Jordan Poole where he walks up to have court and you expect he might do something? 'Cause I think so. I think I've seen enough from him that once he touches that ball, I feel like you can do it. Not Steph, you can do anything, but you can make something happen.
As a Warriors fan, I do believe in Jordan Poole, but being on the same team as Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, and in the Steve Kerr offense, if he pulls a shot from 35 feet and it's not in the end of the shot clock, are they happy with that shot? I don't think so. Like, unless he's coming off the bench and it's like, okay, Jordan just scored and he's hit a couple. I don't think he got that green light yet. Like Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, they have the green light that if they first play of the game, they want to pull that, they could. They coach would be mad if he missed and be like, yo, let's run the offense. But them the only ones that I think could just pull it. Jordan Poole just gotta get a couple more years, and then if he keep executing like he doing, then yeah, he would be right there with him because he got the range and he make it look so effortlessly. Like I think he could be there, but I think right now he got a couple more years before he can do that. Trey Young, yes. I did forget about Trey Young. Trey Young, yes, but I don't know. Like Trey Young, yes, but for some reason, Trey Young don't put the same fear in my heart. Maybe it's the size, I don't know. But when Trey Young stepped, he can get a bucket regardless. He actually led the league in scoring. He did not points per game, but total points. He actually led the league in scoring this year. But it's just I don't know because you saw like when the Heat they play actual defense and I think he needs a little help. Like I don't think he can just put the fear in a team like Steph can. I ain't saying he can't because he did it to the Knicks. I know y'all New York dudes, so y'all might not want to hear that, but he put
I loved it.
yeah he put
I
the
loved
Knicks.
it.
Yeah, they hate this man still in New York. So I'm not gonna be a Trey Young hater because I root for him, but I'll put him on that list and just out of respect, like he is on that list of as soon as he cross half court, you might want to guard him because it's a bucket.
Speaking on that New York series, though, it was the bow. When he bowed, I had the ultimate respect. You bow in Madison Square Garden, the entire New York state basically booing at you. You take that bow, you here for the smoke, and I loved it. I loved it because that's a New York mindset. Like Trey Young belong in New York.
I'll take that.
Nah. He good in Atlanta though. He good in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? He feels safe over here. That's where the shooters at.
All right.
So
Final thoughts on the finals.
Warriors in seven.
Mm. Oh well, I'm going.
Marcus Smart MVP.
I'm going with whoever Vegas is saying is gonna win.
This dude.
All right, so that's it for episode 5. Let's go ahead and do our shout outs. Cedric, what you got for us?
Hey man, follow me on Instagram. It's CED underscore PHA underscore 2 END. Uh, hey Shayla, let's kick Shayla out the stream because I don't like how she said let's go Celtics at this point. Um, Shout out to HTSA. You can follow on Instagram at HTSA Podcast. You can follow us on TikTok at HIGH Thoughts Sober Actions. Um, and other than that, that's all I got, man. Good seeing you.
Should you have me on?
Ooh.
Juwan, what you got? Any shout outs?
I'm vibing to this music. I'm sorry, but you can follow me at Juju underscore Papa underscore BEVNS. That's Beans. If you couldn't tell by the title again, I'm very prideful about being a father. So on my page, it's really nothing but me and my family. I don't post a lot, but if I do, it's probably just for my family. Yeah.
Great having you on. Everybody, follow me, SSG Black Rod. Follow me on Should I Play That? Should I Play That? We've been doing consistent episodes. Shout out to my Should I Play That fam. We have the Summer Games Fest coming up, so if you want to know about games that are coming out in the next, this fall, next couple of years, we're going to be covering that footage. This past Sony dropped a banger, State of Play. We're getting Street Fighter 6. We're getting Resident Evil 8 in VR. Listen, it's a great time to be a gamer. Even though like the pandemic has like pushed us back, even though people still can't find PS5s, they're still making games. Still doing some stuff. So follow us on that. We're gonna be doing, and we're streaming. We're streaming again. We're streaming on our YouTube page. Should I Play That? We'll be doing another live episode this Wednesday at 10ish. finish. I think it's about around the time we should do it.
Finish.
Check us out on there. Check out HGSA and the stuff that they have. They got some stuff coming up. I think they're gonna be working on some.
Yeah. We should be putting some content out in the next couple of weeks. So be on the lookout. I know we've been delaying it, but be on the lookout.
All right, good stuff. So with that, we're out for another week. Thank you for tuning in. Catch you guys next time. Peace out.